It's pretty cool in the Shire. They've got a new PM from these parts as well. The #1 ticket holder of the Sharks, Scott Morrison, became the new Prime Minister on Friday. He's not going to be here today. He's got more important matters than cheering on the Sharks on this occasion, but I'm sure he'll be here in the future. It's an important game for Cronulla. 5th on the ladder right now. The door's been opened a little with results across the weekend. They can join the Roosters and Rabbitohs on 32 competition points with a victory here this afternoon against a team that they have hammered lately, the Newcastle Knights. 7 wins in a row for the Sharks against today's opponents by a combined margin of 243-84. And there's a premiership winner with the Sharks, firing everyone up.
Yeah, plenty of emotion there. Terrific man to play alongside, Chris Heighington, one of the greatest clubmen I ever played alongside. Brought so much on the field and more so off the field as well. Just a terrific guy to have around, and you see the emotion there. He knows he's in the home stretch of his career. Only this afternoon and next week to go for one of the game's greats, really, to be honest. 2-time premiership winner. He's played international football for England. And now we see the Newcastle Knights led out by Mitchell Pearce.
Yeah, pretty daunting for the Newcastle Knights here this afternoon. There's so much on the line there for the Sharkies, and farewelling a fair few players. I'd just like to say about Luke Lewis, what a wonderful competitor. I suppose when you start your career and when you finish your career, the most important thing is you want to be the player that everyone wants to play with. That's the sense I get from Luke Lewis.
Yeah, absolutely. And Heighington, to be honest, in the same boat block. I mean, won premierships for the first time at the West Tigers and also at the Cronulla Sharks. Just a terrific clubman. But Luke Lewis was the greatest player I ever played alongside, Block, and I don't say that lightly. He was a player that could play in any position and be the best player on the field. Comes from a wonderful family, you see there, with his young children and his wife Sonia. Terrific people, great friends. They've been on the journey together. What a moment this is for Luke Lewis there. He kissed his wife Sonia in a guard of honour. 300 games, 2 premierships, Clive Churchill medalist.
You almost wish you were down there giving him a handshake.
It's an emotional moment, to be honest for me, Block. I shared some wonderful memories with him. He's one of my best friends, and it's just been an incredible career. We played a game of SG ball against each other back in the day, and then went on to play representative football and played. I believe he brought out my best football when I came to the Sharks.
Well, you told me you're going out for dinner with him tonight. I hope you shout, Mick.
I'll be shouting tonight. I'll be shouting the big fella, and he can eat too, the big bloke. Look at those quads and those glutes. He can fit some tucker in those, Blocky, don't worry. What a nice moment this is.
Great.
It's his 112th game as a Shark and his final game at this venue, so that's why it is the farewell afternoon for Luke Lewis. 52nd game that he's played for the Sharks at this venue. The Clive Churchill medalist, of course, in that premiership win.
Yeah, he was. His final series led us to victory, not only that night against the Melbourne Storm, his performance against the Cowboys, and more importantly, down in the nation's capital.
But of course, there was tragic news late this week. Lance Thompson passing away, the former Dragon and Shark, at the age of 40. He played 38 games for the Sharks, 36 of those in the number 12 jumper, which has been retired today and has been placed on the ground in front of Paul Gallen.
Shark 392, Lance Thompson.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to play alongside Lance Thompson back when I was only 20 years of age, and the effort that he put into the younger guys, given what he'd achieved already in the game for such a long time. He was a wonderful character. He played his heart out every week. He had red and white blood in his veins, and it was tragic news. Obviously played some football here and some good football here at Cronulla, but just a tragic end to a terrific man's life, to be honest. At 40 years of age, it has rocked not only the Sharks and the Dragons, but everyone in rugby league, to be honest, Speedy.
Yep, there'll be another tribute later today when St George Illawarra play in our second game on our Sunday ticket. It's been a big week for this guy, hasn't it? Andrew Fafita, pointing at the coach last week. You picked it up, Locker.
Yeah, I did. He looks fired up too. He got a slap on the wrist during the week, so it'll be interesting to see how he starts the game too. The Knights were so good defensively last week against the Penrith Panthers. They'll have to be that good today too, because I reckon they've got some points in them, this Sharky side.
Kenny CO kicking things off. It's not going to be Fafita, it's going to be Gallen for the opening hit-up, and it was awkward for Sione Matauti. He was on the deck there, but back to his feet smartly. Now Wade Graham, he's got that leg heavily strapped, which you don't like to see heading into the finals. He's had a tough little time with injuries lately.
Yeah, what a timely inclusion. Wade Graham back into the side onto that left edge. No Matt Moylan today, who had 6 tries. Assists last time they played against Newcastle and was outstanding, but a huge inclusion on the eve of the finals to have Wade Graham back.
Rayleigh in the headgear, and Fafita with his first hit up. Young Kyle Flanagan on his NRL debut out there, and the number 21 jumper, Matt Pryor, with the final hit up, so not too many metres on the opening set. And the opening kick will come from Wade Graham, wearing the number 23 jumper this afternoon.
Well,
Kenny Dow through the first tackle.
The great thing for the Knights here this afternoon is they get the first penalty. Kenny Dow wins the penalty.
Andrew.
Fafita straight into the face of Kenny Dow as SKD said welcome to first grade by throwing the ball at the head of young Kyle Flanagan after he gave away the penalty.
Yeah, he took some dislike there. You see Flanagan coming in over the top. Just there. Oh, it gets him flush, but it doesn't find touch. We see here Holmes. What a turn of events.
Shocking error from Newcastle, who had the chance to get wonderful field position after the penalty given away by Kyle Flanagan. Dad wouldn't have been too happy watching on up in the stands, but all is forgiven now, perhaps, as Townsend gets it. Holmes in full flight. Josh Dugan playing right centre. No Jesse Ramian, out with injury right now.
Well, at least he hasn't eased his way into the game. When they give away the penalty, they don't give away NRL jumpers. This kid deserves it. I've seen him play in the lower grades and representative football. He's a calm, steady player. They get another penalty here, right in front.
Will they take the gift 2 points? Gallen and Townsend discussing that.
Chad, get a tap there, Stoney.
They're turning down the 2. They ask for Fafita to run straight at Aiden Guerra. It was awkward for Guerra, holding him down a long, long time. Now Flanagan gets it. On to Townsend, out the back, Valentine Holmes stepping around one. Important tackle made by Fitzgibbon. Yeah, that whistle was going early.
Yeah, the Sharks moving the ball from edge to edge here, asking plenty of questions of the Knights' defensive line.
Just wait, Jayden. Good man.
Back-to-back penalties now. The Sharks again.
Also important too to get points on the board here for the Sharks this afternoon for the top 4. They'll be looking to put points on. Evident early in the game, not taking the 2.
Oh, and the mistake comes from Pryor, and the Knights celebrate. Those penalties paying off for them, just slowing the Sharks down, and then the error came.
Yeah, be disappointed there, Matty Pryor. It's been a terrific start from him. He's really straightened up the attack of the Cronulla Sharks. His form over the last month has been sensational. See,
let's get 6 there now.
All heads in now, 20 seconds.
The referee saying that there's a little error in there.
Arms around, Val.
We're used to seeing it blow a gale at this time of year at Shark Park. How are the conditions, Andy Raymond?
Jayden, stay in. Ball in now.
Speedy, just about perfect. 19 degrees, no breeze whatsoever. There is, though, the first thing I noticed was really long and thick, heavy grass here. So it's a slow track today. And I would have thought the Sharks, with that little bit of extra pace out wide, would have preferred less grass, faster feet. However, that's not the case. Perfect day for footy, though, buddy.
Does that go into the thinking, Mick Ennis? Should they have shaved it a bit shorter?
Oh, Shane Flanagan's got a lot on his plate this week. He hasn't had a chance to come out with the hand mower and knock a couple of blades off it. Fafita's taken up a fair bit of time, Speedy.
Indeed. He got a haircut himself from the CEO. Pearce going long.
Starting 10, mate.
And Fecky back into the lineup in the last few weeks after being absent for a while there when Edric Lee came in originally and took Fecky's spot. But a bit of rotation in the outside backs right now with injuries to the first choice centres. No Latelli, no Ramian.
Yeah, real test for them this afternoon. It was a brave win from them last week that was overshadowed, obviously, by the Andrew Fafita stuff that came post-game. But their performance last week was exceptional against the Cowboys. They were there to play the Cowboys, and a number of injuries. This afternoon, the depth tested for the Cronulla Sharks.
Flanagan quickly on to Graham. This is what the side where Cronulla are often dangerous when Graham can get it moving to Holmes. Now the crossfield kick comes from the versatile second rower. Up goes Dugan. Tried to rip it clear of Meany. What's the call? Knock on against the Knights.
First one off, Josh. Second one in, Knights.
Good signs there from Josh Dugan coming through in that right centre position and competing for the ball. You love to see that when the ball goes in the air. Kensio goes up.
Wait there, Lachlan, play with a foot.
Well, I mean, that could have almost...
Well, I reckon they're unlucky not to get the football back there, the Sharks.
Looks like there was... Looked like Sio came down with the ball and Dugan pulled it towards his own try line.
The try line he's attacking.
That's right.
So it's a knock-on against Dugan.
Yes.
The referee took a long time to signal it. He was saying it, that first knock-on against Dugan, but the signal had everyone a bit perplexed early on. He did give the footy to the Knights. Got to get him a bit of charades cross-training just to make sure he gets those signals right. We can all pay attention up here. Now Connor Watson into the halves with no Kalen Ponga. So Watson out there in the number 20 jumper. Those former Roosters together in the halves again. Pearce and Connor. Pearce gets that off the outside of the boot a little, so Capewell has to go. Got there pretty comfortably. Ricky Latelli hopefully back next week or week one of the finals. So Capewell deputising at left centre. It's a farewell afternoon for Latelli, who do a lap of honour with the likes of Joseph Paulo at half-time.
Yes, a number of guys there. Edric Lee, also Jesse Ramian. So a big afternoon for the club in their final home game. Those gentlemen obviously not on the park. Latelli and Ramian, as you mentioned. Yeah, Ricky, one of my favourite players, Speedies. We see Holmes straight through.
Splits them, and the support was there for Brayley. He was being held on to. This might be 10 in the bin, is it? Danny Levi, or just a penalty?
I'll tell you what I have noticed in the game so far is Fafita just running right next to the play the ball, just trying to dig in.
Taking it 2, mate.
None of this crossfield running. They're going to take the 2 now to open up the scoring. They've had a couple of goes.
Yeah, nice play there from Jaden Brayley. One marker, got out of acting half, and Valentine Holmes, one of his greatest strengths is his speed and his aggression, the way he runs through that centre third of the field, pushing in support, created an opportunity. Brayley couldn't hang on to it. And now the Sharks, through Valentine Holmes, will take the opportunity to post first points.
They turned down the shot from right in front of the uprights earlier. They're going to take this one from 23 out or so.
Good signs there for young Kyle Flanagan too, pushing through on support. Saw him come into screen on the replay previously next to Brayley. It's one of his strengths.
Yeah, it's a great trait to have, Mick, when you support, when you can read the play like that, straight through the middle third of the field. It was all off the quick play the ball in and behind the ruck there from Fafita. That's where the play started, a quick play the ball from him. They won the penalty. Good start to the game here from the Sharks.
So Holmes, who's become the #1 kicker ahead of Chad Townsend in recent times. He's only had 15 shots at goal. Townsend's had more than 80 this season. And that's a 2-0 scoreline for the Sharks. It's been a bogey scoreline this year. They are 2-4 when taking a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I mean, obviously, Paul Gallen really not realising that it's been a bit of a frantic start, although they've had a number of penalties in good attacking position. The opportunity just to get on the board for the first time this afternoon was crucial. So we see Jaden Brayley there donning the headgear this afternoon after...
And the reason he is, Mick, he suffered a severe cauliflower ear a fortnight ago. It was so severe it couldn't be drained, so he had to actually go in for surgery to get the ear completely fixed. Some here at Cronulla were saying it was the worst cauliflower ear they've ever seen, but I think the award would have to go to Nathan Friend. Friend suffered a cauliflower ear that was so severe and permanent, his teammates gave it a nickname. Graham, the cauliflower ear, was born and still alive and ticking today.
How'd you go on that front, Nick?
Yeah, I had a couple. Hence the headgear in the later stages of the career.
Brayley goes to Gallen. Nice flat service for the front rowers.
Gee, they've been good through the middle, haven't they? Straight away with Gallen, also Pryor and Fafita. Here's this run from Fafita again. Nice and straight, gets the offload.
Dropped out the back, and Flanagan gives himself up there. An argument to say maybe knock back, but they say knock on against the youngster, the 19-year-old, the son of Shane, who answered the SOS with no Matt Moylan this afternoon.
Yeah, just took his eyes off the ball there for a split second. I don't know if the pass was necessarily on there from Fafita. You're right, Blocker. The Cronulla Sharks side is a different side when Andrew is playing direct. When he's playing direct with that big body and Pryor on the back of it, Gallen, they just pose so much of a threat for opposition defences.
Mitchell Pearce just went and gave him a little rub. Of course, both Nathan Cleary and young Flanagan were the ball boys at the Roosters a few years back when both their dads were on the coaching staff there. So Mitchell Pearce maybe remembers him from those days as the ball boy at the Roosters. Don't think he appreciated the little rub on the head, though, the teenager.
Well, they've been into young Flanagan, haven't they? Kenny Dow took a dislike to him early in the game, and then Pearce there. Nice little rub on the head, as you mentioned, just letting him know, welcome to the big time, welcome to first grade.
Saifidi, bit of ball playing to Pearce. Connor Watson did well to take it and get away from Townsend. What can they cook up here on the last play? Pearce wants it down the short side. To hang it up for young Dennis to attack. Bats it back cleverly. All the way through to Watson. It is the last tackle still. Pearce keeping it alive somehow. Great pass to Barnett. Saifidi gets it wide. Matau's here, thought Guerra was going to pluck it. And in the end, he had to track it down. Well, that was a terrible end to a haphazard play.
Yeah, nothing to lose there too. The Newcastle Knights kept the ball alive. Just keep an eye out for Luke Capewell. Just sprints up when that ball goes on the ground. He's the man that forced the error there. Some good football here from the Newcastle Knights. They've started pretty well. Watch Capewell here. The ball goes on the ground. He's straight away on the spot.
Yeah, he's been a very handy player, Kurt Capewell, hasn't he, for the Sharks for a number of years now, and his versatility has probably hindered him from actually holding down any position.
Mistake.
Another error from the Sharks.
From a half as well. Townsend this time coughing it up. So knock-ons against first Flanagan and now Townsend, and the Knights are knocking on the door for the first try.
Well, that's 6 errors now in the game in the opening 12 minutes.
Good defender, Matauti, one-on-one, isn't he? He played so well this season. Defensively, put pressure on Townsend there. He loses the footy. Here's the first real chance for the Newcastle Knights.
Oh, back on the angle. Essa. You heard the little grunt and exhale there, didn't you? Now, down that short side again for Pearce. Guerra back on the angle. That Roosters combo again of years gone by. Saifidi shaping as more of a ball player in the opening exchanges, but held on that time. Watson, big cut-out ball to Kenny Seo, who doesn't have a whole lot of room in front of him. Some big outside backs for Kenny to run into. Dugan and Edric in concert. Now Watson taking on the line. You like seeing that out of your halves, Blocker.
Well, that's his go. He's a running player.
Pierce can't stab it in behind, but it was played at, was it? No, it wasn't, but it's all alive for Pierce, and then he's finished off by Edric Lee, who'll be a Knight next year, but he's playing for the Sharks right now, and boy, did it show.
Well, I'd like another look at that replay. The referee's dooming the ball wasn't played at when it ricocheted from Mitchell Pearce. Nonetheless, the shot from Edric Lee coming back from injury this afternoon was enormous and had to be made on Pearce.
I love the way Pearce just shakes it off. He's a tough little competitor. He got whacked then, straight to his feet, didn't say anything. Just brushed back his hair and ran back into position.
Yep, Edric Lee, a 3-year deal signed to join the Knights and Mitchell Pearce next year. And when Pearce got it back there, what do you think of that replay?
Yeah, probably a fair call. The initial reaction was that Townsend hung a leg out, but it didn't look that way.
Holmes slotting into dummy half as Graham gets another kick away. It's sailing and out on the full. So that time the left-footed kicking option doesn't come off, and it's another error.
Gee, they're starting to mount now for the Cronulla Sharks early in this game. 5-2 the errors. Cronulla just uncharacteristic, really. That kick out on the full by Wade Graham. A great advantage to have that left footer on that side, but just put a little bit too much on it. You can't keep inviting sides back into the game. They get another opportunity now, the Knights.
Great replay to see the shank off the outside of the boot there.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Only 5 from 9, you see. Completion rate there for the Sharks. Shane Flanagan will be livid with that.
Fitzgibbon and Luke Lewis, as he's done so often throughout his career. Textbook down low. He was feeling the arm a little after that. He's got the left arm strapped, and it looks a little limp right now. He's had his injury concerns in his farewell year. SA sets the Knights up, and Lewis is still feeling that left arm. So will they target him? Forward pass is called as Fitzgibbon tried to go at Lewis.
Yeah, it's an area of his game that needs to improve. Danny Levi is very crafty and very skillful out of acting half, but sometimes he just tries to be too flashy, to be honest, out of dummy half. And just there, yeah, blatant forward pass.
The other thing too, Mick, we've talked about this before, the ball not straight from the ground. If you're going to play fast and flat like that, you can't afford to pick the ball up and then pass it.
No, and at times I thought, to be honest, you know, the lead runner certainly overran it there, but you've got to recognise that. You've got to be able to hold the ball and not pass to someone that's in an offside position. Obviously, when you finally got good field position, I'm surprised the Knights haven't attacked down their right-hand side, attacking young Flanagan, also Capewell, as we see a penalty here. Levi involved.
Well, they caught them from the scrum, the old hold it in the scrum for a little while, and got about 2 or 3 of them offside, and they didn't retreat.
Yeah, surprised they haven't attacked down that right-hand side and tested out Capewell, who hasn't played a lot of centre, and also young Flanagan on debut. Attacking a lot towards Lewis and Dugan, 2 of the most experienced players in the Sharks side at the moment.
Can they get through this set, the home team? 14 wins this year. Started today in 5th, but they can enter the top 4 and ask the Dragons to answer later on this afternoon. Looking forward to that game. Not too far away from here at Cogra. Dragons against the Dogs to round out the penultimate round this season. Holmes showing it out in front of himself and finished off. Saifidi and Fitzgibbon. Gallen back on the angle. Dennis got a good contact first up. It is the last. Flanagan. Graham. Flanagan got whacked by Guerra. It's popped out the back and pounced upon by SKD. Well, Flanagan certainly is well aware that he's out there playing first grade.
Yeah, he certainly is. I'd like to see him kick the ball. He's got a nice little kick on him there, Flanagan, but just hasn't used it yet. Going to Wade Graham a lot. That time they ran the ball, but it was a great opportunity given the fact that they hadn't had a lot of possession, and on the back of a good set, that was where Flanagan needed to back himself and get a nice kick in and try and build some pressure.
Levi. Good dart out of dummy half, and Fafita really crunched down on it and helped create that error. So Danny Levi not having a great start.
Yeah, some frustration there for Levi, blowing up at himself, dirty on himself. But Andrew Fafita, something happened in the previous set. You can see here, he's still pointing the finger at Levi. And when he got out of acting half, you watch the intent from Fafita here. Grabs him by the jersey, slams him into the ground, then comes in over the top. He took a real disliking to something that Levi did to him in a tackle.
They might be verbalising him after last week. That's what they're probably doing. Straight into him, Fafita.
Nathan Brown has made an early change. King out there. Saifidi getting a rest. After 4 runs, Daniel Saifidi and 15 tackles, the leading tackler from Newcastle. Well, there's how ordinary the footy's been in the last 10 minutes. Just 1 completion apiece. Not what you want heading into the finals for the Sharks. Fafita, good second phase footy for Holmes. He went through the hands, it might have been interesting out on that left-hand side. Knights were struggling numbers-wise. They go that way now. Townsend shows it to Gallen. Here comes Valentine. Fitzgibbon holds on, wraps him up, ball and all. A real wrestle to get this play the ball going. Oh, Luke Lewis reaching out. And the fans tell you he didn't come up with the meat pie.
Just tried to sneak one down the short side, didn't he, Lukey?
He did. He did. He saw something on down there, and it was young Watson that held on. Been impressed with Corey Dennis, to be honest. Some of the defence that I've seen from him this season, he's doing a good job so far on Josh Dugan. It's a good battle out here. He's quite a big, strong lump of a kid, and he's doing well. He's doing well at left centre.
Yeah, just 21 years of age. 17th game in the NRL. Pearce was asking for a penalty, so were all of the Knights, but nothing doing there. They might get one here. Kenny Dow eventually able to play it from the Touts here, who can keep it alive to SKD. Now Mitch Barnett right up the middle, and they're getting decent meters here. A bit of a roll-on for the Knights. Quick play the ball from Barnett too for SASA to keep them rolling. So a chance for an attacking kick. Mitchell Pearce wording up his right side that here it comes. Can they get there? Kenny Dow and company off. Fecky, good take on his chest.
Well, that's a wonderful take because he took off a little bit late that time, Fecky.
Good run there from Capel. I'll tell you what I've been impressed with from the Knights in the opening 20 minutes is at times in 2018, it's been Kalen Ponga ball. He's dominated, and other team members have been happy to sit back and allow him to control everything. Today, there's a real sense that individuals are lifting in the side with no Kalen Ponga.
And all those tackle busts to his credit this year.
What a player.
Going to see a lot of him on Fox League. A signing trumpeted today that we've got Kalen Ponga on the books, which is great news. He's already done a lot for us on a lot of our shows, and he's great talent on and off the field.
Yeah, us three got our redundancy. Yeah, Kalen's on board, so it's been good, Block. I've enjoyed the last 2 years with him.
Well, they haven't got in touch with me yet.
Oh, they haven't? Oh, I saw your name on the top of the email.
I've had a good run.
Dugan plays it for Holmes. Townsend right towards that right upright, and they weren't back on the line defensively.
We'll hear the warning here in a minute.
Well, it has to be, Block. That's 7 penalties now.
Yeah.
And 6 in a row.
Mitchell,
Wait, Jaden.
I need it cleaned up around here. I want it cleaned up.
7 penalties for the day, 6 to the Cronulla Sharks, and the majority of them in good attacking position. And again, they reject the 2 points. Gallen charging towards the line.
156th game for him at Shark Park today, going past ET for the most ever. Oh, Flanagan keeps it alive for Townsend, floats it over the top, and Dugan says, I'll have that, Edric, don't worry about it, I've got it covered, and he puts it down for the first try of the afternoon. A pass intended for Edric Lee, but Dugan said, I'm having that.
I said I was up
Well, on the back of a mountain of possession down on the Knights That's a defensive line.
We'll check it here. We're going for a try.
They're going to check it here.
Yeah, mate.
And it was some
Jared,
great signs
I've tackled 2.
from Kyle Flanagan.
I've got a try. Just confirm that the ball is caught on the outside.
So we're going to check if the ball was caught on the outside of the lead run. This is it from Flanagan. Recognises that Fafita
Andrew Fafita is through the defensive line.
attracts a lot of attention. He goes through, so there's no problem with Fafita.
No problem with Fecky either, is there?
Fecky goes
Josiah
through.
Fecky runs through the defensive line.
That's a try.
And it's a good one too. See how quickly Townsend summed the situation up, and just look, you could see him looking after he got the offload. There's the put
There's no
down there from
disadvantage
Dugan.
to the
It's a
Newcastle
try. Get on
defensive
with it.
line with both of those
It was
lead
lovely
runners.
vision
And
from
Josh
Chad
Dugan
Townsend.
grounds
Great to
ball
see
in
the
goal.
halves
Yeah, decision.
combining together. Great to see Flanagan running the ball. It's one of his greatest strengths in the lower grades, and on the back of it, Townsend reacted, and the vision, as you touched on, Blocker, was to perfection.
You know what I love, Mick? Players in motion. Any number of players could have scored that try. They got hot when they got the ball 10 metres out. Dugan gets over the stripe.
Yeah, some real concern. The Knights physio, Tony Ayoub, he's with a Knights player that hasn't
head
moved.
clash.
As we see the ball go over the top, but at the top of your screen there in back play.
I think it's Fitzgibbon that's down at the moment.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Friendly fire in that tackle situation.
Well, that's a huge loss. If it is, he's a wonderful player, Fitzgibbon. 9 tries for the season, really become a lethal back rower on the edge for the Knights. And there's that pass from Townsend. Josh Dugan, well, he's managing to score some tries consecutively.
3 in a row, yeah. He's loving it out there on the right side. We've seen him as a fullback so often, but he's been on the right wing the last couple of weeks and right centre today, and 3 tries in 3 games.
Well, that might get the Sharkies going a little bit, Mick. They've been a little bit stop-start in this game so far.
This is not good at all to see. He hasn't moved, and Ayoub, who is one of the best medical staff and high-performance staff in the game, taking real precaution with Fitzgibbon.
So much so that he's been lured back to the Dogs for next year. So it's King who's just on there, and there's the head clash between the 2 teammates.
What's this? Oh, right on the temple too.
It's a shocker.
That is a shocker.
Oh. You wake up from one of them, don't know if you're Arthur or Martha, do you? Honestly, they're terrible head clashes like that.
Like 2 bulls in the paddock, head to head. And they're taking every precaution with young Lachlan Fitzgibbon. 9 tries for him this year. He's been such an attacking weapon for them on that left edge or right edge, wherever Nathan Brown elected to put him.
Yeah, he's gone. They're calling for the stretcher. It's terrible.
You've got to feel for Brownie too. I mean, he's had a horrific run with key players getting injured, hasn't he? Kalen Ponga obviously not there today. He missed some football with that hamstring injury during Origin. Pearce, their major signing, gone for long parts of the season with a pectoral injury. Slade Griffin, who was in terrific form, he's had to get a knee reconstruction.
Moga early in the season, one of their big signings.
And back to the scoreline, I mean, Holmes will make this 8. You would imagine Holmes will, with the way he's been kicking, extend this to 8-0. And given the start that they've had, the Sharks, only 9 completions from 15 sets of 6. Shane Flanagan will be relatively pleased with the scoreline, but disappointed, I suppose, with their execution.
Nice reception there for Chris Hyington, a premiership winner with the Sharks, playing his final game in the NRL. 337th game for him this afternoon, going past Brad Fittler into outright 7th on the all-time list. So you said he's a legend of the game. And
well, you know the great thing about Newcastle too, they've only missed 6 tackles. They've had a lot of football, the Sharkies, put them under a lot of pressure. They defended well. They did so last week against the Penrith Panthers, so they've bought their defensive game at least for the moment.
You know what I love about Hynington, Speedy, is you need one at every club. infectious around the group. He trains really hard. He's really professional, but he's a real jovial character. And when coaches get intense in the environment,
break it up.
How good's this?
This is great.
Fitzgibbon back to his feet. He wants to go on, but I don't think we'll see him playing for the rest of the afternoon. But to go off under his own steam is a great sign. And just checking on whether maybe a fractured eye socket or something of that nature may have occurred there during that head clash. But
he's looking for his gum shield.
Yeah, he's looking for his mouth guard, isn't he? He is.
He's pushing the trainers away. Look, I can walk off myself.
But this is what they talk about, whether the personality of a person changes during these concussion tests, and that's part of the indicators. And right now, I think they're thinking Lachlan Fitzgibbon has cocked a fair whack to the head, and I don't think we'll be seeing him again this afternoon.
Great signs that he walked off.
Yep.
It's great signs.
Hyington out there now, and Valentine Holmes. Well, Mick Ennis has already put this one down in the book.
Close your eyes, Speedy.
Black top stuff.
Boys, an update on Lachlan Fitzgibbon. I've just spoken to Tony Ayub as Lachlan begrudgingly left from the field. Good news is there's no structural damage. They don't believe there's any fractures, there's any breaks in the face, in the eye socket, the cheek. There is a very nasty gash just above his ear, and obviously he's been knocked into next week and will take no further part in today. But he'll be back. He'll be back better, and the good news is no surgery, no breaks.
A bit of a stoppage though, so we're going to run really close to the next game between the Dragons and the Bulldogs. Coming up next on Fox League, another farewell for Jason Nightingale, who's been such a servant for St George Illawarra.
Going to be a big afternoon, I would imagine, at Cogra Oval, not only for Nightingale, but also, as we touched on at the start, Speedy, around the passing of Lance Thompson, one of the Dragons' greats. Be a huge afternoon out there.
Gee, it's amazing. His two home teams are playing this afternoon.
Next door to each other.
Stone's throw.
What an afternoon it is, too, for the Dragons, given the fact that if the Sharks can win here, they put the heat on them for that fourth position.
It's so tight. We'll have a look at a live ladder in a moment. All those teams on 30 points right now. As it stands, the Sharks, one of those teams on 30 points. There's 4 others.
All good.
Now Flanagan does get his kicking game going. Drops it into the corner and across came Meany.
It's a great set after points for the Sharks, and after a long stoppage with Lachlan Fitzgibbon's injury, a nice kick from Flanagan on the end of the set. Wade Graham leading the chase down there as we see another penalty. The 8th penalty of the afternoon.
Well, Townsend was called out of it, but then the player actually made contact with him, and the referee said, righto, I'll blow the whistle.
We mentioned last week in the call that, well, there's the live ladder, and the Sharks at the moment into 4th position with the Dragons a game in hand coming at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And you're right, Speedy, we have so much is going to unfold in the next 7 days.
Imagine if the Titans had held on last night, there would have been 2 points separating all of those teams in the top 8. That is phenomenal. Oh, Edric Lee. There's going to be some chat when he turns up for his first day of pre-season in Newcastle. He's whacking blokes. Here he goes again. They keep running back to Edric. SA got rid of him though. Lee comes back for more. Where might he finish his career, I wonder, Edric Lee? Seen him as an outside back, but he moved into the forwards.
Great hands.
Tapped on cleverly by Watson all the way out to CO, back inboard to Dennis, and Gallen with real aggression. Got there in cover. Levi. Quick service for Pearce. Watson. Keeping it away from Townsend. He's a good athlete, SA. Fires one to Hyington. Pearce wants it on the last. He's right side. Out the back for Meany. Decent looking kick. Fecky will do well to get back into the field of play. Now he's in trouble touchline-wise. Some effort. Showing strength from Sasaya Fecky, the no-frills left wing.
Yeah, brilliant play there from Sasaya Fecky. Had plenty of traffic coming through. It was a nice kick from Meany. Had the option to run the ball, as we see an offload now. This was the clean-up work from Fecky. Spins on a 10-cent piece and does a tremendous job and shows strength to stay in the field of play.
Boys, the positional change with Lachlan Fitzgibbon coming from the field sees Chris Hyington move into the familiar role as a middle, making that tackle at the moment. And Mitch Barnett, who started the game as a middle in 13, has come over to the left-hand side.
Well, he's played a lot on the edge this year, Mitch Barnett, so no stranger to that spot. As Flanagan goes to Graham, who got eliminated by Sione Matautia, one of the hits of the year.
Blocker, you touched on his defence. At the start of the game, he's played some time in the back row, and as Graham not looking there, blindsided, and absolutely cut in half. Great shot, Matautia. Look at this. Bang, get that into you. And Graham hit right in the ribs. Would have felt every bit of that left shoulder of Matautia.
If he doesn't hold on to him, we look at it that way. But when he bring it in.
It's another turnover too here from the Sharks, right on the halfway line. So, look, they've had ample ball, the Newcastle Knights. Just can't come away with any points. It's not great defence from the Sharkies, just the Knights aren't throwing that much at them.
Needs someone to fill that void of Kalen Ponga in the red zone.
Correct. 14 try assists for the season. 14 line breaks. He's been their focal point of their attack, especially in these attacking zones. They are missing their number one today.
Boys, some breaking news from the sideline. The NRL Match Review Committee has charged Dylan Napa with a grade 3 dangerous contact. With an early guilty plea, he'll be sidelined for 3 weeks.
There we go. And I think you guys feel, or Mick, you feel 3 weeks is about right.
Yeah, I did. I thought he would get 3 weeks as we see a penalty here.
It's just about right, the 3 weeks, because they won't fight it, I don't think.
Yep. No, you're right. I don't think they should. I just think, no doubt we'll discuss it. And it'll be discussed on Matty John's show this evening and also on the Big League Wrap tomorrow night. But I just think, obviously Dylan needs to address his technique. And I think they've got that one right, Speedy.
Well, it's going to miss a couple of finals with the Roosters, who are struggling for a bit of late season form right now. Pearce, let's get back to this action.
Yeah, struggling in the middle without Hargreaves, aren't they?
Now down Napa. So Levi, plenty of time to scope the options. Goes to Hyington. Watson had to wait for it a little while. Now King, and they do look stagnant. A lot of players just standing around, waiting for something to happen. Can Pearce provide it? Can't get it through the line, but the bounce favours Meany. He was a mean bounce for the Sharks, but a kind one for Newcastle. And the young fullback has his second try in the NRL.
He's been very good, Meany. He's going to be a wonderful pickup for Dean Pay and the Bulldogs. He's excelled in his 3 games already in the NRL. And if you give a side enough opportunities, regardless if Kalen Ponga's missing or not, and someone in particular like Mitchell Pearce, he threatens with every opportunity. And a ricocheted kick in young Meany. And he crosses for the Newcastle Knights, and all of a sudden, they're back in the game.
Well, you need a little bit of luck, and the Sharkies have only got themselves to blame. They've given them ample opportunity to score that try. The defence has been good, but it was only the little kick in behind that was going to really cause some damage there. The ricochet off Fafita's legs. Meany kept pushing up, collects the footy. Maybe that'll get them going now.
Well, it certainly will. They've had, as you said, ample opportunity. But for the Cronulla Sharks, I mean, this is a real concern heading into the final series. Shane Flanagan, no doubt, will address it and would have done all season. They average almost 11 errors a game, and already today they're at 8. And as you get towards the back end of the season and you come into these big games, when every point is so valuable, you can ill afford to turn over that amount of football a week.
Yeah, Mick, I think they've fallen into a little bit of niggle here. They've been verballed pretty heavily by the Newcastle Knights, and it looks like it's put them off their game a little bit here.
Well, they haven't beaten the Sharks in more than 4 years, not since Willie Mason was among the try scorers and Jared Mullen slotted a field goal in a 31-18 victory, but they're in the conversation now. Meany, when he was putting that ball down, just watch what happens. He thinks, oh, do I put it down there? No, I'll just roll over. Ball comes loose. Is that a try?
Oh, I'd like another look at that. It looked like it came free.
Yeah, and he didn't regather it. I think the ball hits the deck before he then comes down and didn't regather it. So maybe they got away with one there. We didn't go to the bunker, did we?
No, we didn't go to the bunker.
Not for a change.
Boys, James Seguiaro onto the football field. Jaden Brayley getting a well-earned rest. A good first stint from the hooker. And my favourite Cronulla hooker of recent years. Sorry, Nick.
Sun cream's on its way, Andy.
SA. Shaping for an offload, but Woods wrapped him up. Now Seguiaro might have given away a penalty. Instead, he has to make the tackle on Levi. Hyington running at Gallen. Or rather, Wade Graham and Flanagan. Now they work it over on that side where Flanagan's defending. No way through for Meany. We got really lucky there, I reckon. Credited with that 4-pointer. Sharks fans were oohing and ahhing the first time they saw that replay on the big screen. They knew they'd saw a little bobble.
Yeah, they did. They did, and really smart play there. Good set after points for the Knights, and putting the ball in the air there, getting down on Valentine Holmes early. He's been superb in that #1 jersey of late, and just taking his time away there as we see Edric Lee now up towards the 30-metre line.
Well, Mick, you see how much you miss Matt Moylan now. Everything good for the Sharks this year that I've seen him play. He's great on the front foot. He can create opportunities and make things happen. They've looked a little bit staged here this afternoon, the Sharks.
Now it's the last. Seguiaro, a kicking option out of dummy half. Just drifts one down towards Meany. It took a Cronulla bounce. Now, Seguiaro chased his own kick and stopped the young fullback in his tracks. He's feeling that one. Young Meany.
He can hit Seguiaro. Every now and then he just bites down on the mouth guard and flies himself out of the line. Remember a shot a number of years ago. Might have been Keith Galloway. This is the shot here where he just came out of a cannon back when you could shoulder charge block.
And now Gallen. Pass off the ground. That's a penalty. Chris Hyington. You should know that rule.
Do you know, it's so inspirational when someone starts a set off like that with a Seguiaro tackle. Everyone gets revved up. And there's a great shot from Gallen. It's a good feeling when you feel that. You just get a few butterflies in the tummy, don't you?
Bit of feeling there, Block. Two old teammates, Gallen and Hynington coming together there.
Any reason why there should be some feeling?
No, all good mates, but I just look to the, you know, whenever you play against your former side, Chrissy Hynington, he'll have a return to serve here, you watch.
I'm not sure why he was puzzled by the referee's decision there. He passed it off the deck and you can't do that, Nick.
He might have watched the Bledisloe last night.
Flanagan turns Woods back on the angle. He went out the other side briefly with the footy.
She's been strong, Woods.
Seguiaro comes back to Bakuya. Now for Fafita, running at a couple of backs on the outside. Some offload. Quick hands to Edric Lee. And they get so many bodies underneath him. Good scramble in the end after wonderful ball handling.
Well, there he is again, Spoody. Corey Dennis. Terrific effort to hold up Edric Lee, who is extremely strong, really powerful. Especially his upper body strength. Scored a number of tries from close range this year and a terrific job there from Dennis to hold him up.
So Bakuya to play it. The ball comes loose. They say penalty against the Knights.
Here comes Fafita.
What an offload that was moments ago that he probably thought would lead to a try when he got it to Dugan. But it wasn't to be. Here we go.
Had to be.
Mitchell Pearce coming.
Yeah, it had to be. Too many penalties here,
every time we're on the sideline. We can't get to play the ball, and we've had 6 penalties on our line.
That's exactly right.
They've held us down for 10 seconds every time.
I've heard what you've had to say.
The greatest reality.
Mitchell, I've heard what you said, and you're exactly right. You've had 6 penalties down there, and that's why he's sitting down.
Haven't had one.
Thanks, Mitchell.
What about question there from Mitchell Pearce.
With passion.
Yes, we see Aidan Guerra slowly make his way off the field. It's been a common theme, hasn't it? 2018. And now the Knights down to 12.
They'll be hard to hang on to right now.
Nathan Brown might put the stopwatch on the play the balls and ask the referee's boss about it during the week. That was certainly what Mitchell Pearce is feeling out there right now as Dugan comes back on the angle.
They scored from that last week. Same play.
Couldn't get the arm free to plant it down. Woods catching it under immense pressure.
Got to get it left, Spoody. Huge numbers to the left for the Sharks.
Emma Tautier calling for reinforcements, and for some reason he went back the other way. Intercept from Barnett, who was onside, they say.
You've got to be offside.
I don't think he was blocked. I don't know how the ball or why the ball didn't go to the left-hand side. It had to. They had an enormous overlap, the Sharks. It was a poor play.
Seguiaro tried the no-look at. And the only man he found with that no-looker was Mitch Barnett. Might have a look at it to see whether blocker was right or not on the offside front. Pearce. Managed to get one tumbling. Oh, Valentine Holmes, did he get a fingernail on it? Pulled the hand clear. It will be a Sharks scrum feed. That was close.
Defend it. Daniel, defend it. Nick.
The Newcastle Knights ranked last for most metres run per game at about 1,237. There is a go-forward issue. Tim Glasby will play the #1 prop role next year. Herman Esse, the Safidi boys, Josh King, at this stage of their career, very capable play 2 props. And there is a big difference. Our very own Steve Blocker-Roach, he was born, bred and retired a play 1 prop. It is arguably the toughest assignment in the game. Your entire offensive set revolves around that first play block.
Well, early in my career I might have been, but at the back end I was a pirate.
Woods again. Great offload to Fafita. Playing against 12 right now. Fafita with the runaround. And they get it on the outside to Capewell. Can't keep it alive. Well, they're going to let that go. Not held, Capewell. Still the same play which started with Fafita. Asking for another penalty, the Sharks faithful. All the way to Flanagan. Seguiaro. Barnett gets the better of him again.
Keep an eye on Lewis.
Flanagan to Fafita. Can he finish off what he started? That was sensational, watching a big man execute the runaround.
Straight to Wade Graham here. They've got numbers on the left. They go the other side.
Townsend floats it over the top, and Edric's going to go over untouched. This time Lee gets the 4-pointer. Townsend, he saw space on the outside on this side.
Well, this is the benefit of Luke Lewis, and I touched on it. Watch his lead line here and in the defenders that he attracts. This was the offload and the runaround from Fafita, showing what skill he's capable for a 130-kilo man. Brilliant play, and this was allowed, obviously, to play on there with Capewell as he streaked downfield. And again, in attacking position, we'll see here. Look at Lewis. Attracts the defensive line, pulls them out of shape, and again, block. There's that vision from Townsend.
Yeah, it was a beautiful pass over the top, wasn't it? A great finish here from the Sharks. They're carving them up on both sides of the field. If they can hang on to the ball, they will start to tick over the scoreboard. A beautiful pass over the top and a great finish.
Yeah, well, that time we saw Dennis caught infield, and it was Connor Watson and Seo, I beg your pardon, on this left-hand side. And it was just a poor read.
Well, they love
Townsend summed it up beautifully.
The Sharks love that right side, don't they? Second in the league. I think that's 34 tries down that side. Dangerous on both sides of the field.
He was in career best form, Edric Lee, before he hurt himself. He's been terrific for Cronulla this season.
It's been good today.
That's his first game in 5 weeks, and his body looks fresh, ready for this finals tilt.
He certainly does. He's a big, athletic. I touched on it. He's deceptively strong. Looks really lean, but he's really powerful. He's proven a wonderful finisher for the Sharks this year.
A couple of little offloads.
Close your eyes, Speedy. Here we go again.
It's been the difference since he's come on, Woods. A couple of little offloads. Really breaks up the defensive line.
A very timely final minute try in this first half. And Holmes, he's got it again. Sideline conversion from Valentine. Makes it an 8-point margin again. The Knights paying the price for losing Guerra to the bin. And Edric Lee's having a field day out there at half-time. It's the Sharks 14, the Knights 6. Welcome back to Shark Park, where the home team lead by 8 points at half-time, 14 points to 6. 10 of their 11 home games this year have been decided by 8 points or less. Are we going to get another tight one, or could they blow Newcastle out in this second half, do you sense?
I think there's going to be plenty of points in the second half. Obviously a number of errors, a couple of stoppages, some nice tries from the Sharks, and also a dubious one, which we saw on the replay from young Mooney. Mitchell Pearce has been in everything, so too Kenny Dow for the Newcastle Knights. Plenty of work, 77 metres carrying the ball. And for the Cronulla Sharks, as they make their way back onto the field, 9 errors in the opening half would have made Shane Flanagan irate. No doubt that man there, Wade Graham, will play a huge part in this second half.
And Andrew Fafita has been absolutely outstanding, 118 metres, 3 offloads. I'll tell you what, he's been helped along the way too. They've changed the style of game here, going straight through the middle with Woods, Pryor, Gallen and Fafita. If they can hang on to the ball, only 14 completions from 22 sets. If they can hang on to the ball, I think we'll see the scoreboard ticking over.
Any word on whether Jim Dimmick got stuck into him at half-time, Block?
I don't think so. I think Jimmy, it looked like he was talking to the halfback, Chad Townsend, who had 2 try assists in the first half. Here we go.
Holmes kicks things off. And back come the Knights. Can they work their way back into this contest after copping that late try in the first half, missing Aidan Guerra in the bin? He's still there for another minute or two at the start of this second 40. Josh King playing his 39th game in the NRL, still yet to register a try. Will today be the day? Down that short side, wasn't a whole lot of room, and they numbered up against Mitch Barnett, who's playing on the left edge, with Fitzgibbon off after that sickening head clash. Fortunately, he walked off, though. Oh, Lewis, that is trademark, isn't it? Getting up in the face of a halfback trying to get a kick through, and they say he played at it.
No, I don't think he did. It hit his legs, hit him on the shin.
He was just looking to make a shot, not necessarily play for the ball. That's what his argument is. Knights will take it, though. Saifidi, good strong run. They've got some depth on the left-hand side as Pearce goes to Watson. Flat ball for Barnett, who's lost it. And Luke Lewis, involved in that tackle, will say there's a bit of karma. Dugan can't get away from the tout here, but he keeps it alive for Capelin. One-hand pick-up by Holmes, and Fecky's rolling.
Yeah, it's where they're so good, isn't it? The Cronulla Sharks, they turn defence into attack, and their outside backs, you see Dugan, Capewell and Fecky, and already the Sharks now well over halfway through Fafita.
They get him on his back, so a win there, created by Hyington. Bakuya, he always provides some dynamic stuff off the bench and rolls out of the tackle.
Got great footwork, late footwork from Bakuya. He's going to be dangerous in the second half here.
Woods to Townsend. Getting on the outside, but Dennis stopped him again in company with Watson. Townsend heading out to that right-hand side has been dangerous. Oh, Luke Lewis tried to force the pass. They were going around the back, weren't they, the pair of them? Kenny Seo somehow able to hold on after briefing it away.
He nearly caught them unawares there. Lukey Lewis, the big show, went down the short side. And you'll see here in the replay box, gets the arm around. Seo, and Kenny pinches it behind his back.
Jeez, he's desperate for a try in his last game. He did exactly the same thing in the first half.
If you ask them to pull off that manoeuvre and say, I'll just stick it behind my back and flick it to you, and Kenny, you take it away one hand behind your back, they couldn't pull it off in a million years.
They'd be here for a season.
How did that happen? Pearce to Matauti. Oh, getting down low. Capewell. Good one-on-one tackle as Pearce just stabs one for grass over the top. Holmes able to track it down. Everyone's holding it in one hand this afternoon. Fecky. Well, I thought Barnett was going to line him up for a big shot, but he didn't quite have the timing to whack him. Townsend.
He's clutching at a Rich Barnett. He doesn't look 100% at all at the moment, Mitch Barnett.
Well, they need him with Fitzgibbon out.
Geez, they're powering through the middle here.
Here's your man, Bakuya. Sangiaro, first man that Shane Flanagan went to at half-time with some stern instructions on trying to stick to the game plan, maybe.
Yeah, keep things simple.
Gets it at first receiver onto Townsend. Now Lewis, what will he do this time? Gets Dugan on the outside. Edric Lee somehow got a boot to it. Some effort to stay in the field of play and get the kick away, and they pin them in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, you can just tell it's evident when we go down to Andy Raymond with that half-time report. It'll be no doubt. You can see it as clear as anything. The Sharks have simplified their attack. They're going direct through the middle of the field, and they're causing the Newcastle Knights defensively all sorts of trouble. It's just been some end of sets. They would have locked their time over again, the Sharks, but as you mentioned, block up through that centre third of the field. They are making some inroads.
I reckon they're doing that deliberately coming up semi-final time. We're going to see
100%.
some sides really wrestle themselves into submission in the middle third of the field. They're practicing for another day here, the Sharks.
Matau's here, wrapping him up and trying to get him towards that touchline. Well, you asked for the half-time report. Let's get it, Nick, with Andy.
Yeah, professionalism and power. That was Shane Flanagan's key message. Nathan Brown, happy with key elements of their game, confident they can come home strong and win in the last 10 or 15 minutes, but this is where I think Cronulla is at their finest. They play the transition so well, and this is the third example in this second half already. They turn defence into attack so well through Dugan, Lee, Capewell, their outside backs, and they're able to make those metres that are just invaluable.
Bakuya pushing the pass, though, and turned it over via the intercept. Connor Watson and Bakuya both stayed down for a long time, but they're back into the fray now.
Boys, the other thing, the lights have been on here since about 1:45. It is 3:15 local time, and I can tell you they are already starting to have an effect. No rain at the moment. There is some expected, but the sky very, very grey, Mick. Ennis certainly reminds me of something or someone.
Yeah, greyer than Corey Parker's hair, to be honest, here at Southern Cross Group Stadium.
Oh, I love it. Lead him straight in.
He's just having the day off, Corey Parker, minding his own business, and he cops a little drive-by.
He'd be sitting in the recliner, wouldn't he, Mick?
Oh, my word. Yeah, absolutely. He'd be sitting on the throne up there in Brisbane.
Oi, I'm number 12. I'm meant to be number 12. I'm number 12.
Oh, hey, where at?
He doesn't know what number he's in. He might have had a knock in the first half.
No, he went into the sheds at half-time and took his jersey off. Barnett's number 13, and Guerra's taken the wrong jumper. And they said, hang on a minute, we can't have two 13s out there. That would be chaos.
I've never seen it. That's incredible. And now they've got it right. There you go, Guerra. We can see from the commentary box here, he's got the right jersey on.
And back out there after serving 11 minutes in the bin. Wardrobe malfunction for the Knights.
Yeah, great to know. Corey Parker, I've just copped a barrage of text messages, so he's watching us. That's the main thing. Have a day off, son.
It didn't take old 50 Shades long to get back to us.
Oh, let's get him live tweeting his responses. This isn't fair. Seguiara down that short side. Lewis is determined to do something in his farewell of significance. He was very close in the first half, trying the old Mick Ennis dart out of dummy half for a four-pointer. Now Townsend, runners in motion, hits Holmes, Fecky, the finisher. They were rolling along those two side by side. They knew what was cooking. And Fecky gets it down in the corner.
Tackle 4.
He's a superb finisher.
Just check grounding for me, please. Confirm.
Well, Sasai Fecky, what a player he's been for the Cronulla Sharks. He does a tremendous job here. And that's right, no doubt about it. Beautiful play from the Sharks. Gets the ball down, and it's all started.
How's the grip on that, Steeden?
Yeah, look, it's starting to come away, but it
Fecky
still
maintains
stays.
possession. He grounds the ball inside the touching goal line.
No
Have a
problem at
decision.
all. Jared Maxwell gets that 100% right.
Well, you saw Wade Graham go back on the inside there, just held up the defensive line a little bit. But running next to him that time, Fecky, Holmes gets him the footy, perfect timing.
Yeah, it all started with Kyle Flanagan and Chad Townsend, and they did it at speed, and they engaged the Knights' defensive line. And their right edge was under all sorts of pressure once Holmes got the ball. You spot on, Blocker. The line from Graham that came underneath attracted the defensive line. It stopped the defensive line. And in the end, we'll see here, it starts with Flanagan. As he gets across the park, the line from Bricuya, Townsend squares up, and there you see Matautia having to commit. Pearce tried to fill the gap where Matautia had gone in. And Fecky on the outside, it was lovely from Holmes. He timed it with perfection. And there it is, Townsend right deep into the line. Holmes gets on the outside. Early ball to Fecky. And the Sharks 18-6 with the kick to come.
Poor old Kenny Dow was in quicksand there, wasn't he? Trying to make up the ground at the death. And he's got a great track record against the Knights. He debuted against them in 2013 and has 6 in his last 5 against them.
You could see Mitchell Pearce going, mate, you're caught in no man's land here. I've got him, you go next one. But they just got done for pace, quite simply.
Well, he struck them well from the right-hand touchline in the first half, this same side. How can he go with a little right-to-left hooker? Well, he hits them too straight. There's no point starting it outside the uprights, Valentine.
Kyle Flanagan played a crucial role in that, trying to Sasai Fecky. He's only a fair-sized half. He'll grow into a frame maybe not dissimilar to someone like a Gareth Widdop. In speaking to the coaches and his coaches, not his father, over the last couple of years, he's coachable, he's a listener, he's respectful to his elders and guys that have been around the game. He's got a great show and go, got legitimate toughness, he's a warrior, and he was the part of that initial movement that created space. And whilst he hasn't shone today, his side of the field has been organised and it's been calm. They are his 2 strengths.
Must have got some of those traits off Cathy. Certainly didn't get them from his father.
Same with his height.
He's the 9th son to play under their father in the NRL. There's been quite a few at the Sharks. Chris Anderson had a couple of sons play for Cronulla.
Hey, don't worry about the old man. He didn't mind mixing it up in the middle.
Shane Flanagan, yep. Back in the 90s.
Did you get there and watch reserve grade? Did you block?
Oh, that's horrible.
The best.
Inside the final half hour, 2 converted tries, the difference. Townsend. Valentine Holmes is chasing it, but Kenny Seo can come in and diffuse. Who's going to provide a spark for Newcastle to get back into this one? Looking for 10 wins in a season for the first time since 2014. That was the last year they beat Cronulla as well.
Well, they have a go, don't they, the Newcastle Knights? They've got too many players that are much the same, so without Ponga just adding that little bit of spark that they need.
Boys, Connor Watson has come from the field for the Newcastle Knights, already back into the dressing room. A groin strain and being assessed by the medical staff.
Well, that's a huge loss. Connor Watson already without Kalen Ponga this afternoon. The Newcastle Knights, now they lose Connor Watson in the number 20 jersey.
And Fitzgibbon too has been a great attacking player for them.
Bureau's gone out to right centre, and Matautia, it looks like he's trying to slot into the halves. Don't forget, right after this, we'll be off to Cogra for the Dragons against the Bulldogs. Think back to last year when those two clashed in the final round.
Yeah,
so much was on the line, wasn't it?
Well, they missed the final series, didn't they, the Dragons, because of it? And in the end, the Cowboys snuck into the 8 and went on that magical run towards the grand final.
Yep.
Be in the back of the mind, wouldn't it?
Yep, James Graham taking on the Dogs. It was unfortunate the way that Matautia was tripped up by Pearce in that tackle situation. Otherwise, he would have been there as support. Now he gets it, Sione, onto Pearce.
We'll try here for the Knights to put the Sharks back on notice.
Hyington trying to create one. It is the last. And Matautia trying to play organiser with Pearce, who knocks it off.
Dreadful.
What about the pass from dummy half?
That's what I'm talking about, Block. It's terrible. Absolutely. That's a halfback's worst nightmare. On the last, you've got Lewis flying at you at a rate of knots, and we've seen what he's done to halves in recent years.
And the other thing too, ticking through his mind, I've got to get to the kick. Can you put it out in front of me, please?
He's not known. That's what you were talking about earlier, the injury crisis this year. They lost Slade Griffin, who became their #1 hooker, and Luke Yates is trying to give Levi a little chop out here, but it's not Yates' #1 position, is it, being a dummy half? And it showed. Now Dugan, a try scorer in that first half. Woods had to be quick with his reflexes, didn't he? He wasn't expecting that offload. He reacted well for a big man. Flanagan on to Graham, trying to create a little overlap. They've done it too. Capewell, great ball. Flanagan off the boo. Couldn't get away from Meany, who tracked him down in a hurry, didn't he? The fullback, he's got some speed. Townsend kicking, trying to get that left to right bender. Sia puts the head down and shows real bravery to get back in the field of play.
Yeah, he did well there, Ken Sio. Nice kick from Townsend. The chase, not so good, and in the end, Sio, through sheer bravery and commitment, got out of the in-goal area. This was the play. It's been a real handful, Capewell. Got away there from Bureau, got an arm free on Kenny Dow, and then as Flanagan accelerated, he got reeled in by Meany. Lovely tackle.
He saw open space. What would have been going through his mind? I've got my first try coming up here, and then Wooshka.
Oh, I think that's Dad next door banging on the box wicket here. nearly jumped onto the ground.
Trying to ride him home.
He might have overtaken him if he got that one try.
That's a carve-up, Shane.
They watch every game on Fox League each and every weekend together, so I hope they're enjoying the replay as the carve-ups continue for Dad.
You got to put it down to the Newcastle Knights. They've got plenty of ticker. I mean, they shouldn't be anywhere near in this game. It's only 18 points to 6. But that typified it with Sio's clean up at the back there. They're gutsy. Just haven't got the ammo.
Capewell is looking so strong, isn't he? And Seguiaro takes the opportunity. Able to link with Flanagan. Good support.
Yeah, his support's been excellent, Kyle Flanagan, this afternoon.
Hasn't tried to overplay his hand, Nick.
Good play. Good play.
Edric is motoring. Meany hoping for the bounce, and he gets it.
It was the right idea. Meany was very shallow, and the right edge of the Cronulla Sharks, they were on board Townsend's kick. Just too much on as we see. Pearce.
Dennis finished off over the top by Edric.
He's just ticking them off, isn't he, Edric? Who else can I get?
Cio able to pick up 15 metres effortlessly out of dummy half there, so maybe the Knights can get rolling here with 24 to go.
And they'll need to, Speedy, because I've just received confirmation. Connor Watson is out for the game with a groin strain. Only 2 on the bench, and those men are Herman Essa and Danny Levi.
Yates, another terrible pass to Pearce, who did well to hold on that time and showed how to pass left to right as he fired one to Bureau.
Well, surely Danny Levi can get 23 and a half minutes out. They've got to get him back on the field.
That's better by Yates. Chance, Saifidi untouched. A front rower under the posts, untouched. You don't see that too often.
Well, the Sharks were looking vulnerable, Speedy, in particular through the middle of the field, and then a lovely interchange of short passes. And Saifidi on the end of it. We'll see here, watch the ball from Pearce. to Hynington. Lovely catch and pass, and then Yates. The ball there, that's beautiful. Around the corner from King to Saifidi. And just pulled the Cronulla defence apart. This ball here, there from King, was lovely. And all of a sudden, I just get the sense it was very similar to what we saw in the nation's capital yesterday, where the Rabbits got out to an early lead. And on the back of it, they just got a little bit complacent. And then the Raiders started to roll, and I'm seeing it with the Newcastle Knights.
Well, it was a staggered line there, defensively there from the Sharks. They all didn't come up together there. Pre-line passing, that was beautiful stuff. Saifidi gets the try right under the post, but the money ball was Josh King, catch and pass on the move, numbers at the line, staggered line from the Sharks. And the Knights show some ticker to score that try.
Really flat ball by Yates, though, wasn't it?
Very flat ball.
It was borderline as CO, who started it all by getting back into the field of play. And they're back within one converted try, the Knights. Here's another look at it. That pass from Hynington a little forward, and gee, Yates was another metre or so. But they'll take it. They deserved a bit of luck after some of the goings on.
You earn your luck, don't you? I mean, look, they are down on troops. The number of injuries for the Knights this afternoon as Danny Levi comes back onto the field. There's our live ladder, and the Sharks clinging on at the moment to 4th position. The Dragons to play at 4 o'clock this afternoon and return serve. But this next 20 minutes for the Cronulla Sharks in terms of their season is enormous. Well, here we go.
It is against Dugan, who's saying, hang on, I'm having my head pushed.
You just got to get out of there.
Short for a diamond there.
Saifidi had the hands up around the throat of Dugan. That's his complaint. There we go, the forearm initially, and then another little go, and then the little, oh, hello. Don't argue while you're on the deck, and Dugan says, against me.
I'll give him a little bit of advice there. Never punch anyone when you're on your back. If someone's standing over you, especially Saifidi.
Oh, Yates putting himself in amongst them.
He's a ball of energy, Yates. Good to see him out of that dummy half roll. Levi back onto the field. And that bit of leg speed in the middle will trouble the Cronulla Sharks.
They might have your commentary in the Newcastle Knights coaches box. They got Levi out there in a hurry.
He's got some trouble, Brownie, if he's listening to me, Speedy.
Pearce, all Saifidi, again, good hands, no knock on. Graham's trying to claim that he got a touch to it to create the knock on, but I think Saifidi had it back under his control. So Pearce, oh, Graham, charge down, plenty of room too. Where's the support? He won't be able to keep it alive, but they've done some damage there.
Well, that's a penalty. Second grab there from Pearce. Did well to turn around and chase. He was the man that kicked the ball.
Graham just doing the 1%ers, made sure of the picking up the ball safely, because if he tried to pick it up and stayed upright, they would have been away and probably be able to go the journey.
Play, wasn't it? Good patience shown from the veteran there, Graham. Nice offload from Pryor.
Holmes! Wow. Look out! The speedster! Hunting down Fusatua, and he becomes the first Shark in the history of the club to bring up 20 tries in a season.
Well, what an achievement for Valentine Holmes. Watch the acceleration on the replay. He is dynamic when he puts the foot down here. This was the play from Graham that turned the momentum. He scooped the ball up ever so cautiously, and on the back of it, a lovely offload from Matt Pryor. The second phase catches the retreating Newcastle Knights defensive line. Watch this, bang! Just accelerates off the right foot, leaves Mooney clutching at thin air, and Valentine Holmes. Well, David Fusatua, here I come.
Well, this is the best shot of it. How would you like to be Mooney at the back of that? Oh, just stepped off the right foot.
The ability to change direction at speed and maintain your acceleration, I haven't seen better. I mean, the likes of him and James Roberts, it's exceptional.
You mentioned it earlier, Mitch Barnett with the arm a little proppy. He couldn't make the tackle on Valentine once he hit top gear. And 20 tries in a season. First Shark ever to do that. And you think of the outside backs they've had down the years. E.T. couldn't do it.
Yeah.
The Peachies, the Sparkles McGaw. Matt Rogers, yeah.
What about your little grand final fullback a couple of years ago?
He could play. Close your eyes. I didn't say that last time, Spoody, and he missed.
Holmes will stroke it over and celebrate that milestone. He was well aware of it, the way he celebrated, and his teammates got to him as well. And we can have a look at where he stands now with Cronulla. There's the little celebration. First ever to 20. Peachy got to 19 and Valentine got to 19 a couple of years ago.
He's the sort of player that brings people through the gates.
100%. He's a superstar, absolute superstar. And the form that he has brought back and the confidence that he's brought back from his Origin series with Queensland, he is one of the form players of the competition at the moment.
I hope he stays at the Sharks.
And so do I, Block. Pressure's on. North Queensland obviously are publicly been very active in trying to get him back to Townsville, but he's been a big part of the fabric here and big part of the success of the Cronulla Sharks in recent seasons.
Fussatua v Canberra next week. Valentine against the Dogs. Who are you tipping? Top try scorer in 2018. As his legs chopped from underneath him there by Bura. Plenty of time for Holmes to draw level.
I think it's harder to score tries from fullback. I think Fussatua's, I think you've got to give a lot of credit to Holmes, who's been able to score a lot of tries through the middle.
Gallant. Holmes is winding up again, gets it. And he's a little puffed, perhaps, understandably. He just accepted the tackle that time from Pearson Bura. Flanagan to Townsend. No time for the chasers this time, and Meany can get his eyes up and look for any holes. SASA bringing the Knights out, and they look tired. Really tired right now inside the final quarter of the game.
Good shot from Graham underneath there. Hard man to handle at times, Kenny Dow.
Ward's really strong over the top on SASA. It was a little sloppy with the play of the ball. Ball coming loose there, forcing the offload. Somehow, they're able to maintain possession through Matautia, who lost his headgear. Another charge down on a Pierce kick. That time Seguiaro got to it. That confirms how much they've been on the back foot with possession lately. Newcastle.
He makes a difference, Matt Pryor, doesn't he, Block?
Oh,
stiffens up that centre third defensively for the Sharks.
He's never tackled. That's what I like about Pryor.
Matautia defending without his headgear right now. The Cronulla trainer has actually got it in his grasp, hoping to return it to its rightful owner at some stage. Now Townsend, Holmes, trying to get it out towards Fecky, but they defended it well that time. They know what's coming.
Yeah, well, Holmes has got a whiff, hasn't he? They're starting to fatigue the Knights, and he is roaming everywhere at the moment.
He's out on the right-hand side now. Seguiaro goes to Flanagan. Holmes should get it at some stage. Will they cut him out to go to Dugan? Dennis, that man again with the wonderful tackle, and now they're away. Kenny Seo, great run. Barnett looked over and all he could see was Pryor to pass it to. He's still getting back on side. The Cronulla front rower. Kenny Dow sensing an opportunity. Almost threw it out the other side. Game's still alive here. The Knights have found something. Thanks to Dennis and Seo on that left-hand side.
Ball play there.
Pearce finally on the front foot after having his last two kicks charged down. He's out of play now, so who's the kicking option? Matautia goes through the hands. Dennis. Holmes well positioned. Oh, ball comes loose. Valentine with the mistake, but there's a penalty.
That's a tough poor.
Inside the 10, presumably.
Yeah, you're offside and you got inside 10 metres. He was always in.
Tell you, it was a great effort from Scott Sorensen to turn around and chase there. It was CO up the other end of the field. Looked like he was home. It was a magnificent chase to make that tackle.
Yeah, the run from Danny Levi. I'll explain why I said it was a poor play. They had all the momentum and they needed the ball to come to the right-hand side. This was the kick from Dennis.
Matautia a metre in front of him, then he makes the tackle.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the kicker put him on side there, Speedy?
No, you're inside the 10. You got to be outside the 10 before you get involved. Even if Dennis goes past him, I'm pretty sure. So the Sharks.
There's been some rule changes over the last few years. It's hard to stay on top of them all, isn't it?
Fafita. What a handful. Guerra was about to come in. It's the fourth man. Held off.
He thought better of it.
Makes the tackle on Pryor instead. Seguiaro, one-hand scoop to Graham. Flanagan. He's going to play a part, it appears, in his dad's 100th win as a coach. What a special day for the family on so many fronts. Townsend. Dugan's going to climb. Bats it back. Not played up by any Knights, so it's coughed up by Edric anyway.
Too far to bend down. Too far to bend down for big Edric, those ones. You're right, Speedy. Terrific day for the Flanagan family. It must be an extremely proud moment, not only for Shane, but all of the family to see Kyle, who has worked tirelessly to get his opportunity, and he's been terrific today. He has been very, very solid for the Cronulla Sharks, and to be there in his dad's 100th win is a day that they'll certainly remember.
Well, you know Flano wouldn't give you anything if you didn't deserve it, so the kid's got the jersey on his own merits.
Design play for Matautia. Off the inside ball from Meany. You've got to play it the other way, Sione, I'm sorry.
That's like nearly bunny 1, bunny 2, bunny 3. Did you ever play that in the backyard? Strike it in the play the ball.
You see, again, it's Matt Pryor there turning up on the inside. He gets frustrated, Matautia, with the extra attention from Matty Pryor. And then in the end, Big Matty has the last laugh. The error from Matautia. Flanagan barking instructions still. 68th minute.
Can we put Luke Lewis back on? Can we get back on with 10 to go, you reckon?
I would imagine so. I would imagine so.
Dugan trying to slice them up. Dennis able to hold on. Brayley looks the most likely to come on right now. Can't see Luke Lewis at the moment. Down on the sideline.
Still
on
down
the
here,
bike.
Speedy.
There he is, motoring.
Just on the bike, relaxing. I doubt we'll see Luke back into the action. Jason Bakuya and Jaden Brayley, probably the two options.
Pryor backs them down. Gowan is ready to rumble. He was screaming for it from Flanagan, and Flanagan turned down the veteran. Is it Gowell's time this time? Seguiaro goes to Fafita instead. Andrew Fafita, wow, they hold him up. Got numbers there in the nick of time.
Great defence, Barnett it was.
Complaining about a crusher here, Andrew Fafita. Really feeling the strain on the neck muscles. Just asking the bunker to confirm whether this is penalty worthy.
Yeah, just unfortunate.
It's actually
those ones are unfortunate. You know, where the player twists and backs into the tackle. Barnett had already made contact and had his arm over.
They put it on report.
Oh, no, that's an accident.
That's an accident. That's crazy.
And a penalty for it.
You're trying to stop a big unit, trying to score a 4-pointer.
Just doing your best.
And the arm was just around.
Impossible.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate. They'll have no case to answer there whatsoever, any of the Knights players.
How would you like to massage those rocky boulders? Huh?
So presumably, who are they putting on report there? Barnett and Meany, or?
Well, it's Barnett's arm over the top there.
Boys, do you agree we may be misinterpreting the value of this rule and the parameters of this rule? It was brought in to stop what we saw Will Chambers doing just a couple of weeks ago, where you're lifting and then driving a player on top of his neck. These ones, for mine, accidental. Yeah. We don't want to see anyone get hurt, but things happen in a rugby league game. It's not ballet.
Correct. Spot on, Andy. Well said.
It allowed the Sharks to extend that margin beyond 2 converted tries via Valentine Holmes. Don't forget, right after this, the Dragons against the Bulldogs at Cogra. Jason Nightingale's final game at that venue for St George Illawarra. The Dragons won 18-16 back in round 14 between those two, and it could be tight again. Lachlan Lewis, who makes time stand still. What can he do this afternoon, I wonder? Coming off the match-winning field goal.
Massive win, wasn't it, at Leichhardt Oval for the Dragons last week against the Tigers in the context of their season. This afternoon, no different. They must put away the Bulldogs and give themselves an opportunity to stay in that top 4. It should be thrilling viewing Sunday afternoon football at Cogra Oval. 2 fierce rivals, the Dragons up against the Bulldogs.
The dominance over Newcastle continuing for the Sharks. It's going to be 8 straight wins against them, the way it's tracking. Barring a late turnaround here from Newcastle as Dugan gets motoring again. Nice service from Lee. Just spirals one to Townsend. Now Seguiaro. Flanagan. Hits Capewell on the outside. Textbook tackle from Bureau, the former Sea Eagle. Graham, good angle to get a left foot kick going this time. Hangs it up long enough for Dugan. Can he complete? Oh, clever! Josh Dugan didn't even bother trying to gather it in. He kept it alive, battled it back to Edric Lee. And they've got a nice combination striking up on that right-hand side.
Yeah, he's been very good this afternoon. Josh Dugan at right centre, and Edric Lee, we've touched on him. He has been outstanding and has been terrific in 2018, finding the try line. Gets his second for the afternoon. Graham with a lovely kick, positioned it perfectly. Dugan flew up. Didn't quite time the catch, but had the skill to be able to bat the ball backwards right into the arms of Lee. Look at this for skill. Just there. Outstanding. And Edric Lee caps off what's been a wonderful afternoon for that right edge.
Well, it's great when you've got options in your kicking game too. They've got some wonderful kickers in their side, the Sharkies. Great Wade Graham on the left-hand side, just hoops one back the other side of the field. Great awareness. He went up foot. He's competed for the footy so well, Dugan, former fullback.
Yeah, it's been an afternoon where they haven't certainly been at their best, the Cronulla Sharks, but have got a wealth of individuals that are capable of being able to do special things. We've seen it this afternoon from Holmes, Fecky, Edric Lee on a number of occasions, and at that time, Josh Dugan.
They've just got attacking weapons on both sides of the field through the middle. They're so hard to handle, and then on quick play the balls, get on that front foot. Danger players all over the field, the Sharks.
Slots another one. Holmes in goal-kicking form as well, heading into the finals, which you'll see on Fox League, of course. Edric Lee has had a wonderful afternoon playing outside of this man. Let's just see how this challenge goes. Obviously, both touches off Dugan here. He got rid of Dennis, and then both touches off his hands there. Never touched a Knight, so that's why they never went to the bunker.
Yeah, it was a good call from the on-field officials. And to think that the Sharks have been able to post 32 points without Matt Moylan, who has been there, orchestrated this year of the majority of their tries. Townsend's been superb. So too this man, Valentine Holmes.
He's underestimated too, Capewell. He's done a magnificent job filling in at centre.
They've got some depth, don't they, when they lose both first-choice centres and they put Dugan in and then Capewell Very handy backup.
Yeah, and then you bring Edric Lee back in. Yeah, it's a position the club are in at the moment. They've got some wonderful depth in their outside backs, and we must also mention Kyle Flanagan on debut. He's been solid. He's been solid, the kid. Certainly hasn't done anything wrong.
181 metres for Fafita here this afternoon. It's not over yet. What an effort. Straightened his play up.
Look at this bloke. Gallant, 25 metres.
Yep, up over 130 now, courtesy of that run. Townsend. Dugan hungry for more. Plenty of traffic for him to go through, and it was Sorensen who got there first. Sharks are going to be into the top 4 and ask the Dragons to answer. Next week for Cronulla, the Bulldogs at ANZ Stadium. So the Bulldogs can play a part on who's going to finish top 4. A big part.
Well, they've shown over recent weeks, the Bulldogs, haven't they? They're going to cause some trouble and some headaches for those sides above them, and they've done just that. This afternoon will be very interesting at Cogra Oval.
Ura forces it out the back. Oh. Sekiaro given the big don't argue by Guerra. Kenny Dow. He kept it going to that left-hand side. Might have been interesting, but stayed in the middle. Now on the last, Pearce tries to get a floater tumbling down towards Holmes. He readjusted well. Barnett came hunting him, so Holmes ran away from Mitch. But I don't fancy that.
He got going quick, didn't he, when he saw Barnett in his rear view. He gets the crazy eyes going, Mitch Barnett.
Fecky. Another try for him against the Knights this afternoon. Premiership player in 2016, but now part of their backup crew in 2018. Will he be there come finals time? Latelli should be back, and Jesse Ramian as well, so then Dugan has to go to a wing maybe.
Boys, you're about to hear an almighty roar go up around Cronulla because he's getting a token couple of minutes. Luke Lewis with interchange number 8 in his hand.
Fecky, oh, what a kick! Oh, Townsend! Sasaya Fecky with the banana to his halfback. One of the tries of the afternoon. No wonder Townsend turns to Sasaya and salutes him.
Well, that's reward for effort, not only for Sasaya Fecky, but for Chad Townsend, who has orchestrated a terrific win this afternoon, the number 7 for the Cronulla Sharks. But sit back and enjoy this piece of skill from Sasaya Fecky. Lovely vision, and again, Capewell, beautiful execution, but so too that. Off the outside of his boot, the banana kick to the middle of the field. And as all good halfbacks should, Townsend pushing through. Look at this. Changes the angle of the ball, cuts across it, makes it spin back towards Townsend. And right there.
Well, he was getting ready for kick chase, wasn't he?
And
Townsend.
The big blow dry, he scores.
That was a beautiful kick back in field, wasn't it? At full pace, that was a great shot from our cameraman. The kick off the side of the boot.
That was Joey John stuff. Going the wrong way to just drop it down with the one hand and then get the ball rotating the right way to hit it off the outside of the boot to find your teammate. That was special by Fecky. He's wasted out there on the left wing.
You got to be careful. Wingers get kicking licenses occasionally, Speedy. You don't encourage them to do it too often.
The other thing too is the calmness of Capewell.
Edric Lee.
In his farewell game at Southern Cross Group Stadium. There's the reception for Edric, and Luke Lewis is out there for the final 90 seconds, so it's party time in the Shire.
Yeah, nice moment. Look at the crowd here. They're responding. Standing ovation for Lewis. What a player he's been.
They've certainly ticked over the scoreboard in the second half. 14 points to 6 at half-time. The Sharks have piled on the points.
Edric Lee heads to Newcastle as another goal-kicking option. He's 100% in his NRL career. 1 from 1. Is there time for one more try? And you know who they'll be hoping can finish it off. if they do get a try-scoring situation. There's the live finals matchups with the Sharks into fourth right now. Of course, a lot can change. They would face the Storm away. They just won there a couple of weeks ago. That would be massive.
Yeah.
Roosters, Rabbitohs.
If there's one side, Craig Bellamy, as we see Sasai Feckie away again.
On the banana man. Oh, Graham couldn't hold on. Oh, Feckie's pass, and Lewis was going to be the support runner. Wasted. Wade Graham lets us all down. Where's the fairy tale moment when you need one? Now the Knights go the other way.
That was the moment. That was the moment. Remember Beaver Menzies in that grand final.
Remember that?
Now Barnett has a crack. 30 seconds to go. Still time for a score the way this one's unfolding at the death. SA goes back to Barnett. Somehow it got out to Kenny Seo. What about that? Ball out of dummy half from Barnett. Sensational. Hyington. Flipped up, so the Sharks have it. And won't be able to keep it alive. Cronulla again over the Newcastle Knights for the 8th time in a row. They give Luke Lewis a fitting send-off at Southern Cross Group Stadium, but the veteran wants to finish with the ultimate fairy tale, a premiership in 2018, and maybe, just maybe, it is on for the Sharks. Hoping to play their best football come finals time, and they are building very nicely indeed. Full time, Cronulla 38, Newcastle 12.